Today we come back with external development, and been a while we don't talk about sociology. I think it's a good time to come back with these topics as a core pillar of this program that only kind of social science so far. And with their nonprofit, with social fund focus and community building, like Greenify, we definitely don't want touching the study of a community, and that is the internal reason for this. And the external reason is, of course, sustainability development is a three core pillar: society, economics, and environment. So that's coming up with this idea of mine that I think is a good time. We're talking about some external, some conceptualized idea of a community and society, which is we have a leading branch of study in sociology called community sociology, which is, of course, use the sociological approach to working on specific defined community and break it out as yet. Of course, it's a little bit different with the community study, which is a mix of sociology, anthropology. Sometimes it's urban study, sometimes it's cultural study about one specific community in different phases of the idea. So that's a little bit different with that field, but this field today, we just take a look about community sociology. Let's see what the sociologist is talking about community. That's why I name up this topic is community and society. Let's try to see how it's going. And a small plus on that, which is I just found, which is great idea when develop this type of program, is I found out some philosophical idea with also related to community sociology from the East, from Confucius. It's a small tranquility and comparing with a great similarity, which is pretty big ideas of Confucius that still impact with the Eastern of the globe now today at some point. So I try to bring a little bit of the West and bring a little bit of the East in here, and I see how far we can go. Okay, so let's go straight to the point here. We talk about concept. So the concept of the community in sociology has been tracked back to German sociologists and political critics, Ferdinand Tönnies, and it's coming to his first and the most famous book the title is Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft, which is translated to English is Community and Society in 1887. And he's just one of the leading scholars in sociology after the time of Karl Marx and Engels. So the idea is pretty clear and pretty simple, but they have really groundbreaking idea that we always think about, but we never really deeply talk about that. And that's what I want to be the start of this study. So this is the two different idea. First one is the Gemeinschaft. Basically, it translates it's community. Now today we use this community. In the book, he's talking about as communal society. So what that means? That means it's just basically is a groups. We talk about this modern sign language, but we're gonna say that it's a group, or it start by independent individuals, and they bound together by common norms, and often because of shared physical space and shared beliefs. And the earliest form of that is family and religions, village, tribe. So that basically the idea of Gemeinschaft is that's why the community is a bit extended version of that in a more general approach of own representative of all that kind of different group bounding. And I highlight here the common norms. So we talk about the norms. Norms is a hidden regulation. We're going to talk about this deeper in some sort of topic about cultural study, but I think we're touching a little bit of that in organizational development, in the theories of organizational cultures from Edgar Schein. So that's why it's all famous. You see the connection of all sociology and applied sociology, which is organizational development and leadership and management. We see that they all have the connection together as a literature. And norms basically is the rules, but hidden. Unspoken rules, basically the same thing. That's why we call norms and regulation hidden and clear. And the obvious, we see a lot of things that we unspoken, we never talking. Like sometimes it's ethics, etiquette, like your dressing, the way you dress. You can dress whatever color, but maybe in professional worlds, like go to the court, you got to dress Western business attire as a qualified unspoken rules, common norms in the Western course. And you're dressing some sort of different costume, and that may be a little bit violate of unspoken rules. But there no regulation that you cannot dress that. That's why you can. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that you can violate that because they still have unspoken rules in that group of individual. Could be community, it could be society. It's not everything gotta be speak out like law and written regulation. So that is basically the idea of norms. And as a second part, highlight the share. The word of sharing is important. The key idea of community is a group of sharing community. It's different with the group study or team study. We used to talk a little bit. In last February with the first course of this program, we talk about team leadership or group forming groups in sociology, a team leadership and leadership study. So the idea of teams and group is smaller than community, and they have target, they have goals, they have skill, they have independent. But when we see the bigger picture community, we don't focus on the purpose. We don't focus on the goal so much. We focus on the sharing inside and the way we're bounding with each other. Right? We're bonding, we're connecting to each other. That's a community idea. It's more about commute, about sharing, about connection, about strong tight. And it starts with physical space. The way it's important of that because we live close to each other, face to face. We create more emotional, social, biochemical reaction, some sort of that, which is cannot sharing by other non-physical community like internet, social media. That's why social media we never can compare with the community, the real community, physical community, or physical material society, because we don't have a touch base. We have to see each other to see the reaction, the changing of the phase, the heat, all that chemical stuff, signal, whatever the different language in different field of study they say. But physical interaction is something classical and groundbreaking in the community development. I call it sharing belief. Okay, belief is something is metaphysical, right? Belief something outside of the physical world. It's something in our mind and in our heart, and something is belief. Is sometimes is get further and beyond the rational, which is when talking about that later in the Gesellschaft. But when we believe that we believe we are brother and sister. That's why in religion they call each other brother and sister, and maybe call each other as some sort of different name of that relationship because they believe on that. It's not because they have like a blood tie or some genetic connection or some biological connection. It's just we have the spiritual connection, belief connection, supernatural connection, whatever the name of the game. But that's all forming a sort of special connection in this community. All right. And second, we're talking about what it's based on. It's based on the feelings of togetherness and mutual bonds. And I put in here that people have a simple and direct face-to-face relation with each other that are determined by Wesenweis, basically it's natural will. And this is so will is some philosophical term, so we'll not talk deeply about that, but natural will basically is just like the natural force that urging we connect with each other. Is a feeling of togetherness, the expectation of bonding. Even sometimes we say it, we rationally think that we don't want to be around people, or sometimes we just never think about that we need to have friends, we need to have a neighbor, we need to have family, but we need to be practiced in religious ritual, but some sort in our will, which is where the philosopher throw everything cannot explain of the force into that will. Some sort of the force naturally pushes us together when we have something trickle in our mind, in our spirit. So that's why it's just important. Now you see why the shared physical space is important. We have simple and direct face-to-face relation with each other. And the sense of togetherness and the bonds, the building out when we interact with each other directly and simple. It don't have to be complicated. It's why sound like pretty complicated, like in a school, for example, in a classroom. We have a complicated relationship, teacher and student, right? Student learn knowledge from teacher. Teacher sharing, pass down knowledge and direction to the student. But in the economical standpoint, student who is pay salary for teacher and for the facility. And in a social standpoint, that society pay out the money for teacher, for the school, and for the student. But the student cannot pay all of that, right? The classroom is not only run by teacher, it's also run by all other stakeholders in the university, and how they can have the class right now peacefully when teacher have all the tools and knowledge, and teacher, student, and student have a good mentality and readiness and happily, some sort of not happily, but feel comfortable to go to class. It's depend on the stable and the resourceful of society. So that is complexity. That's so complexity. That's why they have so much stakeholder in education. But community is simple. Yeah, we hang out 5, 10 people, hang out together. And next week we go 20. We sit down together, listen to other people's story, talking to each other, doing something fun in the morning, maybe build up on kind of the housing thing, clean up the trash in the river, and get back home, do some camping, talking a little bit of a story, have late night something, and we try and keep doing that, and more we doing that, more we have bonding to each other, and we all satisfy our feeling of togetherness. Everybody willing to do that, and that now is a natural will. And who not have natural will to do that would fall out. So they'll be kicked out of community, and community just be forming like that. And next month you referral 10 more people coming in, 10 more people coming in. Now the community is 20. After a couple practice, some people don't feel their natural will to keep doing that. They kick out. So now you just have 17 or so you have 14, but you keep doing that because that is what you do. You want to interact with each other and keep up that relation, not because of anything else, benefit, goal, interest, money, power, whatever. It's not about that. It's just about we do what the natural will take me to. That is the idea. Of course, when we talk about characteristic of the community is a strong personal relationship. Of course, we see that relationship is complexity. It's probably complex terms to explain, but in this, so in to compare with the idea of the Gemeinschaft, we could say that personal relationship is based on the feeling, emotion, social bond, the what now? Sharing of ideas, sharing the belief, gonna be on the core idea of personal relationship. Okay. Another characteristic of community is relatively simple social institutions. So we try to keep it simple. But when it goes complex, it start move up into society, which is other terms. And when it go to be complex social institution, we need more complexity tools to manage the complexity relationship. That's how. That's when the politics and the laws and the punish and reward, what is what regulations and compliance and check and balance everything coming in, because now it's so complexity. We have too much people seeking for so many different things, and if we want to hold that group individual together, we need more complexity tools and to control, to manage, to leading them. Community, keep it simple. Okay, and it have based on the implicit rules. Implicit is from inside, the whole idea implicit, and is opposite with explicit. Yeah, it's a written law from outside control. It's to control. Inside is explicit, and implicit is from inside control outside. It's two different terms. You see that terms a lot in psychology. So we can call norms implicit rules. So basically, just we silently agree and disagree in some point of the idea based on our internal belief of that natural wills and beliefs. And one more point characteristic of this community is that existence of the group is a key goal of the member. So the member coming into the community or forming the community to satisfy their feeling of togetherness, and they expect to bond to each other and want to share the idea. And without the community, where are they going to share, right? They can share with someone, they can share with the family, but how long will it last? How about sharing with other peer, right? How long sharing with other people outside the community? Because outside the family, because family is something that bond with us for so long. We gotta seeking for other people, other self, right? Outside the internal self, we forming from the family. So we seek for other. We jump out of community to the society. The society have too much variance, so complicated. Well, how we gonna get it? We're so tired to wearing so much different persona in that. And what do we gotta do? We start to control ourselves and seeking for a group of people that just want to be bonding each other, and when we hang out with them in a day, we feel comfortable, we feel the togetherness, we fulfill, and we want to come back no matter what, even if we have to pay money to come back. And we want to keep that sense, collective sense and experience, and resources exist. So that's why we want it, right? And we just don't want the benefit of that one time. We want it exists all the time, like other relationship we have with others, sort of socialization agency that we try to do. And we have a last idea about the equilibrium. So basically, how that we're forming the community, right? It starts from the morals, and then conformism, and then exclusion, right? Basically, it's quite straightforward. The moral is just sort of like an internal value. Moral theory, basically, it's a value theory. I don't really think talk about that. And that's how we're holding together. You come in here just seeking your value and comfortable, right? And if you not coming here and not respect the norms and respect the feeling and respect the relationship of the community, and also you don't respect your own natural self, natural will to be togetherness, please get out, do something else. That's it. We don't have some sort of punishment. We don't have some sort of police and prison to take you out. You just walk out. That's it. We're not welcome. Or you just cannot connect with us. We're gonna say that. So that basically is a sort of Gemeinschaft, which is community. We have other kind of opposite with that, or kind of fulfillment, the gap of that community. So we see the community sound pretty good, but it's simple. It cannot scale up. So how does scale up look like? The scale could be like in a Gesellschaft, which is society, it's a modern language, or associational society, which is the associate. What we mean by associates, which is a group of individual with the seeking for self-interest, join a group and create a sort of membership, which is each member seeking their own goal, and they come in together to pursue it somehow by collective resort. Business, networking association is something. It's just something we're seeking of. What else? State, country, basically the same thing. That we seek individual. And with this complexity, it requires specialization, a professional role to hold them together, to hold all the member together, hold all the self-interest individual together. And how to hold it together when we have limited ability of controlling people, right? If you control individuals so much, if you violate human rights, you cannot do that. And you just have full connection with each individual. Yeah, in a modern psychological standpoint, you just can't do it with 9 to 13. How about 1 million? How about 100 million? How about 330 million? How about 1.6 billion? How many professional role we need to control that much of people, right? This is a big question, and a lot of philosophers already answer it based on the political philosophy, political science, right? Leviathan, Thomas Hobbes, based on that social agreement, civil society, Hegel. There's a lot of ideas for all there, but basically, we need to have the formal structure to maintain that group of people to move in the same way. Basically, the same idea with organizational development. Every organization needs a structure. Without structure, you just a group of individuals. You don't know what you're doing. You might doing sometime, and you fall it off. But they keep doing that and doing that, and achieve something without formal structure. It might be community. That's why there's a lot of community movement out there, and the majority of that is for system of belief. It could be healthy. lifestyle community. Could it be sustainable community? That's pretty big movement. It could be artistic community. We focus on art, an art lover, right? Intellectual community, we just focus on rational thinking, intelligence, and knowledge. So that is the whole different idea. But now we just focus on other community. How you can do that without formal structure, like business, right? How you can do it, the group of business, without a formal structure. That when the CEO tells you what to do for the benefit of the group, you don't do it, and you end up that violate one month or of regulation, and the whole business collapse just because you is seeking your own interest. That's why the owner lying and what I call compliant issues need to be controlled from up to down. We are human beings. We're seeking our own interests, our own pleasure, and we have limited knowledge and limited worldview based on our very different background and life story. It's only formal structure is the way we can hold it up together. And that formal structure, how we can hold it, is hold. And this society, an associational society, is the creation of the will, which is rational will. And it's pretty clear, will is a force, special force in all of us, and rational is the way we think. Rational will is just basically based on your rational thinking to really forcing us coming together. Is the thing that's totally different with natural will. That's why it's a key idea. Like this true system is so different. And of course, characteristic of this society is impersonal secondary relationship. Impersonal, I mean, it not take personal. It not take from inside. It's from outside. And it's a secondary relationship, right? What the primary relationship? Primary relationship is relationship each other face to face, right? But secondary is you to the group, you to the rules, you to the organization. That is the key idea. You don't have much sense of togetherness. Sometimes you have, and sometimes you have it with the group of office students you hang out with after the working hour, more than during the time of working, right? And you don't feel much of bonding. That's why they need the practice of bonding in the business. Because in business, you don't do bonding. It's just seeking for interest. It's not the place to making friends. You're making friends outside the work time. When you escape of the structural system, that's where we build up relationship, build up feeling, build up the sense of togetherness. And of course, they have strong social institution. You need a strong institution. Institution basically is a formal structure and be well established and maintained. So it's been an institution. And how we maintain it? By explicit rules, which is written law, pretty clear. That nothing else is that have different approach of the idea. How to build the law, how to vote through the law, how to maintain the law, who violate the law get punishment, who obey the law if it's safe, and who protect the law have a reward. Basically, it is. And members of this type of Gesellschaft is seeking for individual aims and goals. Pretty clear. Because that idea of rational will. We're rationally seeking for our individual goals. All right, equilibriums, how to maintain it for our police, for laws, for tribunals, for our prison. Yeah, why? Right, you need enforcement for some outsider to do that. Either laws to make sure people have well behaved, with tribunals to make sure the fairness in the relationship, and we need prison to isolate the non-listening people, or the outsider, the outliner, whoever it is. So that a basic idea of Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. It looks so similar because it's all created by human, but the core idea of that is different. But we need both of this to maintain our social self and fulfill our natural self and rational self. That how whole idea of the Ferdinand Tönnies and his picture. Pretty great, groundbreaking study. Okay, we talk about the next idea, pretty significant study from John Brown about a sociology of community connection. And the key point is about connection. Relationship is connection. And that when that connection is so complicated, we need some other form of connection. Communications, some sort of other socialization agency throughout throughout the media, throughout the government, the transforming connection throughout the other agency like workplace and other social practice connection. For example, how we know about community development, how we know about sustainability development without a community and without some sustainable community, right? We never talk about that. How do you know it? And you might start with school, but there's some idea in a study of John Byrne that quoting a study late 20th century of Berger, that is, since the origin of sociology, community has been contrast with society and is equally verbally defined and broad concept, which just means community is a broad concept. We define community in hundreds of different ways. And the same thing is society. So both of these things have hundreds of different definitions. But they are seen the origin of the sociology or study of society. We always contrast each other. It never be the same. Community and society, it never be the same. And the contrast is so big during the industrialization revolution and all the time that the urban development time, when the urban expansion and the rural area disappear, village be empty and tribal be eliminated. That's when the contrast goes so strong. And the contrast between the community and society, according to Berger, is a part of conservative political tradition of sociological ideas. So the group of conservative and liberal is the same idea, right? And this contrast is community is tradition, society is change, right? Community is feeling, society is rationality. Community is female, society is male. Yeah, it's just metaphor about the force and the emotion. Community is warm and wet and intimate. Society is cold and dry and formal. Community is love. Society is business. That is the whole idea. Quote by Berger. And I think it has something profound in here that is about their natural will and rational will that we should think about. Great book so far for this beginning of community sociology. Okay. And in that book, we have another idea which is interesting for this course so far. We conduct based on the initiate practice in Vietnam, which is the Eastern, and with some Western methodology and scientific approach from the West. That's it in that book, quote unquote, that is, the idea of community was evident much earlier in Confucius' theory of the 5 fundamental relationships, according to Barr, 1992. And of course, we understand the Confucius theory is roughly 500 BC, I mean, 2,500 years ago. And Confucius, which is much earlier than 1887 of Tönnies. And Confucius contrasts a small tranquility with a great similarity. In the same way, Tönnies compare the mentality of Gemeinschaft and with its opposite, Gesellschaft. And we see the opposite in the definition before, and it's just the ideas, the formal, practical, empirical study. So that's why it is closer to the side of theorists and philosophy than the applied sociology, what we're doing now. But they still have some module we should think of. And that's why I compare with Confucius, right? And Confucius' idea also be compared with Plato and majority Plato, where they have kind of the same period of time in mankind. So small tranquility and great similarity is pretty complicated idea, and it's already mentioned a few in the study. It's a book of Bright, right? In Vietnamese, I mean lễ ký, and then did Confucius did mention a little bit of that, but it's not the whole thing, because the other side of that, the 5 fundamental relationship, right? CấuTrúcXãHội is more profound and more approachable, logical to the follower than the idea of great similarity. And we see some idea of great similarity in socialism too. That's why Confucius has been quoting as a socialist for a while. But it's just an idea, and they try to contrast, and both of the contrasts fulfill our socialization process. That I think that the whole point of that, even in Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft, both of that exists. You don't need to be eliminate each other, and they both come in to fulfill the natural side and rational side of human being. That's what my approach. All right, let's go in this. There's not much study about small tranquility and a great similarity. I did take a look, couple study from Confucius experts, of course, from China, and have gathered some sort of the idea, but it's not. I don't think it's a whole thing. But well, it's a philosophy maybe 2,000 years ago. So we just got in some idea of that, and hopefully we can adding up more of that, because I'm not the Confucius study and follower, so I'm not really clear about this. So I just gathered a part of that generated this contraction of a Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. So we're talking about a lot of incomplete the picture, which is mentioned in the study. A small tranquility or lesser prosperity, it's been mentioned in the book of Right, is as Xiao Qiang. It's mean Tiểu Khang. It's not normally mentioned in our culture so far. And you compare with that, we're talking about the great unity, the great community, the great universality, the great similarity, the grand harmony, the great peace. That depend on how you translate that word. But in Confucius study, they call it Da Chong, right? Đại Đồng for the word. Yeah, that's why some people translate it great similarity. Yeah, the similarity is the same, and that word literally means the same. Big, da is great, and tong it means similarity. But in Chinese and old Chinese word, they have more meaning of that. But we just pick the key idea that Western sociologists using in this opinion: small tranquility and great similarity. Xiaoqiang and TriếtHọc. So let's start with small tranquility, because this thing is more approachable study of Confucius. There is maybe the most earlier whole life of Confucius in talking about this. 5 social relation, right? Ruler to subject. Subject have to listen to ruler, right? The son have to listen to father. The young brother have to listen to elder. The wife have to listen to husband. And the friend with respect a friend, basically. And these 5 social relation make 5 social constant, which is love, right? With justice, with right, with wisdom, and with sincerity, right? It's all this 5 value, 5 constant that forming the society as Confucius approach. And this type of society be ruling by superior man, right? And this superior man is dealing with politics, dealing with power, dealing with state, which is territory and border, right? Dealing with order, dealing with war. Yes, the war of state. That is the time that Confucius lived in, the war state, warring state. And in that, the book, right, he mentioned about 6 superior men, basically, is six kings who is ruling the country successfully that maintains the stable, the order, and apply all of this 5 value, 5 holding 5 constant and holding 5 social relation, and of course, right is one of the key idea, that is ruler and subject using the boss, right, and maintain our relationship too. So that is a key idea. But this 5 relationship with well constructed relationship, or we can go tight relationship in compare with this. Gotta be clear, gotta be casual relationship, gotta be what's that? Correlative relationship, right? Gotta be logical relationship, gotta be formal relationship, that's what I call. Without this formal relationship, with this 5 formal relationship messing up, this 5 social constant messing up, and this make the whole nation, whole state messing up, and we live in chaos. That's why we need to hold this 5, this 5, this 5. And it's been 1,000 years, and only 6 people can do it, right? According to Confucius. And that is small type of society. Small tranquility. Xiaoqiang. What Confucius believe is the end goal of society, of the group of people. It does show the great similarity. Where is there no type relationship? Is there no ruler and subject? There no father and son tied, right? It tied biologically, but it's not tied by formally that son always have listened father, right? It's not tied in elder and younger brothers. It's mean like language nowadays. It's not ageism. You older than me doesn't mean you can tell me what to do, right? And you younger than me doesn't mean I have to respect you and care of you, right? I respect you because you are a human being and you being nice, being kind, not because of your age or your special status. There are no husbands and wife type relationship, right? Still male, still female. You still can love each other, right? You can create a kid, but you don't need to be tied up that the wife have to listen to husband, have to take care of housewife, or husband have to make money to take care of everybody in the family, right? And be the leader of the family. No, there are no leader in the family now. You're forming in the group, and you do your job, I do my job, and we share it. But the one last thing is still last is a friend to friend, the friendship, which I found fascinating because this relationship is not biological bond, right? And it's not political bond, a ruler and subject of power bond. It's just a sense of sharing, a sense of equalness, peers. But in that sense, you cannot eliminate that. But we always looking for the similarity. And friendship is small similarity inside a great similarity, right? So how we tie on other four relationship, ruler, subject, father. They're no ruler anymore. They're no king, right? We make decision as a group, right? We take the action plan as a group, right? We take a responsibility as a group, right? And also as individual. That's why it's quite complexity. And I think the one term in this great similarity is when the individualistic and socialistic or the individualism and collectivism, which is the highest point, which is hard to imagine now. But yeah, that's why we're not there yet, right? Now we try to reach out that and how we tie up on that four relationship. We have this friendship already there. We tie it by the nature of love. We have love in here, right? But love and right is different. Right, right is to know what your position or the responsibility is. Respect other, right? Wisdom is about applying knowledge at the right time, right? And other justice, about fairness and things. But natural love, this thing is hard, right? This thing is a universal type of love. It's that you love others. You do not only love other because of the natural will, what they call biological will of love, just for productivity, or just for reproduction, right? You love other because that your nature love the neighbor, the nature to love the others and community, right? Because we are all human, we are all born with love, and we have no conflict of interest, right? And why not? We just love each other, right? And it's not romantic love; it's the universal love. It's a great love, right? And of course, the core of this TriếtHọc is based on the share, because now you have no tie-up relationship. How do you distribute some kind of value and jobs and resort? You share it, and you love others, and you love the groups. It's based on talent, which is your individual value, right? It's not based on your position, on your luck, beyond based on the social structure. There's no structure now, right? We own friends, right? I'm not respect you. Yeah, you're a friend of this and this guy, not that guy. We're all friends and we all love each other. If you have talent in leading team, you leading team. You have talent in hunting, you hunting, right? You talent in making house, you do that. We love that. Please do it. Please practice your talents. And that's how we end up with peace. Now we love each other and everybody can pursue their own talent and everybody share on their value. So there's no rational reason to have war. And of course, Confucius even believes there's no border anymore. There's no state because there's no ruler. Right? Why we need to separate each other, different country, when we all love each other, right? So that is hard. And he cannot point out any superior man or any example for that. He just mentioned somehow that around the time Yao and Shun, which is Nghiêu and Tuấn, yeah, basically tribalism, early mythical, legendary kings and tribe of China, which is a lot of goddess and kind of their methodology approach. There's always during that time, people love each other happily commune, right? And they appoint a leaders, first it's Yao and then Shun, and then the third one with a different, starting for different uh, empire. But during the time of Yao and Shun, it's just like, yeah, we're kind of tribalism, we're kind of village type, we love each other, hang out together, sharing all information and resort, try to to harmony, live harmonically with nature, basically is. So the only thing we do is us and nature, us and the heaven, right? So the base basically that's why only men maintain in that time. So this is not exactly the same with the Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft, but we see that it is a form of structural and order. When that structure and order break down, we need to fix it, or the whole thing machine collapse, or mechanism, what's the word we use. It's a small tranquility and Gesellschaft. But the other one is based on nature, based on the internal force, connecting each other, every part connecting each other by the special force, like natural will, like love, like sense of togetherness, like feeling. But this side is like organic, all right? It's like a body, organic body. And that side is like a machine, organic body and machine. It's two part. That how it's different. That's why it's not exactly the same. It's just showing the contrast, basically. And it's showing up the contrast in our society life and internal life, which is we emotion and we also rational, right? We can do both. That's what we desire. We have both. We cannot turn off the one thing and do the other thing, which is a lot of people do that, right? But we cannot deny our nature as we are both. And each of that have weaknesses of that, which we can see it pretty clear. Well, structural, what if structural collapse? The whole thing collapse. Well bond, what if one of that break down? Well, it's not collapse, but it gets smaller and weaker and weaker and weaker. And nothing left. Okay, so that pretty interesting idea of contrast approach about a different group based on the contrast in the mankind. I come up with some idea up here that we not talk that much. I think it not talk enough we don't mention enough in education and in course structural which is community development and society development. Based on what we observe, knowledge of, we see that community development based on tradition. We based on cultural, which is cultural is a little bit culture is a little bit complex terms that we're not using much, but tradition, history, interaction, norms, what is going to include the tradition. But society based on structure, well, there are no society with there are no well structure. Even it's the unfair and disagreeable structure what they have in India, the classism and structural hierarchy what they have in some country, and the ageism and a lot of it discrimination we have so far, the structural, and even the structure of politics, economic, society. That's some sort of structure. We need that structure to maintain the big system. But with a community, small system, we need tradition. Okay, second, we talk about community is when we talk about naturality, right? Things belong to nature. Society is things that belong to rationality, things belong to logic, conscious mind. Even we have some sort of emotion and mankind and kindness and togetherness, whatever it is, in rationality in the society. But rationality is still the thing forming us together, because society cannot maintain without rationality thinking, which is law, which is formal structure, which is professional leader, right? There's no way you're forming society. And with community, well, we just by your nature, right? Community. We just hang out here. If you're comfortable, yeah, keep doing it. If you're not comfortable, please walk out. That's just your nature, right? If you're not feeling that, that's why when it's talk about, yeah, if you're not feeling that, this time it should go. That was naturality. Okay, we talk about personal relationship, of course, that is something community need to have. So that community development, it focus on personal development, because that's how you connect person to person. But in society, we talk about impersonal relationship. We're talking about the person to structural, person to cultural, person to idea, person to resort, something like that. Talk about community, we talk about intimate, right? Get close to each other, feeling each other, walking together, have a good time together, have a bad time together, is what I say. But society, we talk about formal, right? We need to do something formal, right? We need ritual, we need rite, we need meeting, we need formal report, we need whatever it is to make it well structured. And of course, community is starting the idea of love, and society is sorry that I believe that's true. It's based on interest. Yeah. If we based on love, we're not killing each other. But in society, we kill each other. Pretty sure, kill each other. We imprison people, right? But we need to isolate them. Is that because of what we love them? No, we love the rest, right? We love ourselves. We don't want that dangerous individual walking around and killing others and killing innocent kid just because of their nature. We cannot love that sociopath nature. We need to isolate them, imprison, send them death sentence, so that we're not based on the natural love. We're based on our interest, collective interest, right? And this interest term is the beginning of multiple philosophical theory in politics and power, because we seeking the way to evaluate the collective interest differently. Okay, well, so one bonus part of this video, we're talking about some certificate, right? With this programming that you can self-study, because with me, I just see this idea and fully to have enough understanding of that. But with other people, they need more well-structured program to really understand it. So I did try to find society development course, but I don't see any qualified one. They don't have that good, well structured. But about community development, I think the program of Allison that I want to show you after this, it's pretty well structured, and it is a diploma, and it's related to SDG 11, Sustainable Development Goals, which is key idea of this program, and it provide Ontario Healthy Community Coalitions, right? Pretty good organization too. Pretty good credential, pretty good, well designed, have some logical scientific approach of the knowledge, and have some pretty good tools. So that is something I think you should pursue in this program. And Allison, yeah, pretty good qualifying education program. Okay, let's see what it has. Okay. Now let's go throughout the big bullet of that. I will not go detail that. We just take quite a bit of time to talking about it. But if we need, we might go through a little bit of that. Okay, diploma, offer certificate, community development, cover value, concept, and practice. All right, show how to consider community health. Yeah, we understand a little bit about community and how to build a group. Yeah, the goal, or the outcomes, same thing. How to define and how to draw strategy, identify success factors. These features effective teams, explain governance, describe key communications, different media channel, key factor for partnership, outline component for successful volunteer, discussion different project evaluation method, plan activity. All right, and it provide pretty comprehensive tools that we're going to cover next time in other organizational development or nonprofit development, which is like key idea of team, effective team basically is a team leadership. A bit lower than that, but it's okay. All right, and this value of practice pretty close to what we already go through. Okay, break down to 14 modules, but some of that is just like assessment. So they take out cost assessment and 2 midterm assessment. We'll be all right. Okay, let's see what they cover in the first module. Yeah, introduction. We talk about the terms, talk about strategy and the roles. We talk about collaboration. We talk about organizational culture, right? Second, when you understand the key idea, we talk about how to get to know your community, which is collecting data, introduction, understand the literature, and then assess, right? Assessing your community, how to interact and evaluate, right? Using credential and processes to set priority. So setting priority basically that's you doing time management, and you organize the goals, which are accessible ability in a limited resort. Module 3, we talk about organize, right? You cannot develop the community without organizing team, right? You need a building team, you need a meeting, right? You need a planning for change. So we talk about governance, which is operating observation. So this thing is a action plan already. Okay, we talk module 4. We talk about communication. We need communication leadership, right? Talk about learning style, right? How the different member learning, how we communicate each other. Facilitation, which is contribute, distribute tasks, and facilitate the actions. Presentation skill, which is how to speak out the idea. Media relation, connecting information. Leadership skill, might have some brief practice work. Negotiation skill, how to negotiate in the brief form. Okay, Module 5, we talk about successful partnership. We need to working together. Of course, partnership, making it happen, and then finding resource, right? Module 6, we're talking about evaluating and sustaining the project. Key idea, right? You need the evaluation format, some sort of form, evaluation method. So we might cover some of that, but it's more like data driven. Some sort of related to interview and survey and comparative. Okay, sustaining momentum, which is to make sure that action plan is still all going on. Okay, this is the first assessment. Know how you understand it so far. The extra part of that, you understand about the cultural diversity and inclusion about society, which is pretty big deal now, right? Challenge and issue with that, and you need the organizational change to make sure they have inclusivity and diversity in that, and consider a legal issue of that too. And I believe that this legal consideration to maintain diversity and inclusion, not general legal approach. Okay, Module 9, talk about tools and technique, about inclusiveness, right? We make sure I have inclusiveness, defend, and if inclusive is not only around people inside the organization or the project or the team, but also the people in the community area. Yeah, so the response to opposition, how to handle objection, some sort of that. Reference. So assessing community demographic is a bit different with the collecting data in the front, but it's okay. Encouraging diverse community involvement, of course, we need that. Key representative interview, of course. Focus group, yeah, that's also talking about a different method, methodology of approach and evaluation. Self-assessment tools, hand out some sort of self-assessment form, and hopefully they'll fill it out. Role and responsibility as a stakeholder, right? Multiple stakeholder, what they do. Evaluate and succeed. Module 10, we talk about what do we mean by ethics, a little bit about ethics. But in the short form, ethical behavior is important, of course. Who is subject to code of ethics? Basically everybody. What are ethical issues to consider? Basically everything. Okay, planning health promotion program. Yeah, and planning progress, conduct situation assessment, setting goal, outcomes, audience, choose strategy, activities, and assign result, develop indicator. Of course, we need that, and review a plan. Module 12, seeking for funding, of course, developing program plan. After you have plans, seeking for funding, and other funding, you go to proposal, this develop a proposal, packet proposal, all information, and submit it and follow up to make sure they close the deal. And it's just some sort of different test to make sure you understand what you're doing. It is SDG 11. This CPD. Yeah. Well, pretty, not the best one, but pretty well structured one. And I think it's worth to learn. 10, 15 hour. If you're smarter, you can learn it much faster than this, but you know what you learn, about what you know, really, and what you do with that. Okay. So I think that pretty much is this external development program so far. Next topics of this external development program, I believe it could be psychology, yeah, or anthropology, or cultural study. They all connected together and all part of external program, which is benefit for community development.